Imagine you're in the heart of the Canadian wilderness and you have access not only to 6 distinct lakes, but 6 fantastic freshwater species. I'm talking about walleye, northern pike, muskie, lake trout, smallmouth, and largemouth bass. All of this is available to you at Slippery Winds Wilderness Lodge, located in the heart of Sunset Country. It's going to be a fantastic episode, so stay with us. Ooh, nice.
All right.
Ooh, that's a nice sized fish.
Oh my God.
The new Fly Fisher is brought to you in partnership with Destination Ontario, Scientific Anglers, Trout Unlimited, WeatherTech Canada.
Pristine lakes, magnificent landscape, wild animals in their natural habitat, and an expansive multi-species fishery. In the heart of Sunset Country, nestled within the stunning landscape of the Canadian Shield, Slippery Winds Wilderness Lodge is home to all of this and more. My adventure begins in the town of Fort Frances, Ontario, conveniently located a short drive from the US-Canada border at International Falls. Only 38 air miles north of the town of Fort Frances, Slippery Winds Wilderness Lodge is accessible via floatplane. I headed to Rusty Myers Air Service, eager to head north for a week of adventure and fishing.
So the gold mine on Straw actually did really well for the time that it was there. It produced a lot of gold for them, and it just added a lot of history and background to this area. You've got old rail systems that got cut through the trees, and old portage sites that are cut, and nice maintained trails that you can access different water bodies. But there's all kinds of unique little history around. You can go up, there's an old boiler, there's a steam engine in the woods, there's all sorts of, water intakes for old log flume type stuff. There's all sorts of hidden little history buried in the woods here. There's been people coming in here since probably the early 1900s anyways to catch fish. We actually found one magazine article in Sporting Life, I believe, a really old magazine, like 1921, and it had a picture of a giant muskie, probably 45 plus, and it said on Yoke Lake, this muskie was caught before this was even a fishing lodge. So there's been people here fishing, targeting muskie on these waters for approximately 100 years anyways. So it's full of history and full of fish.
After settling into my cabin, I was so excited to head out on the water with Daryl and explore Yoke Lake,
the main lake at Slippery Winds.
At this spot here, we're just going to target some largemouth. There's a few down trees up in this end of the lake that hold a lot of largemouth, and there's the odd smallmouth around, but we'll just key in on the key structure points, and then we'll just bounce around and see what we can come up with here. The best spot is, if you look to the right of it there, there's a little stump that sticks up in the water. There's usually a bunch that hang out around there, and then right as that tree meets the top of the water there, they hang out in that little, there's about a 7-8 foot section right there.
Okay.
And they're always stacked under there. There'll be a dozen or more in there at a time. That's right where you want to be, right there.
What kind of retrieve usually works, like fast? Or?
No, that's good there, like you're doing. Just, we might need something to get a little deeper right there.
Okay.
Because there's probably 6-7 feet of water right there.
Maybe tie on one with a bead head.
If you can get it right in there and then get it to sink a bit, it'll generally, even right there, this should, once that starts to get down a little bit more.
Oh, this is awesome.
Crazy how that little bit of a difference makes, huh?
I was gonna say, yeah. I'm not used to this kind of fight. This is fun. So we had a white and blue streamer on, but it was just a little bit too light for the structure we're fishing. So I tied on something with a bead head, and lo and behold, first cast, bang. Thank you very much.
Yeah, nice little largemouth.
Do the next one.
There's a bigger one.
Nice. It's a very subtle take so far. Ooh. Not with that kicking though, man.
There's so much fun because it's just one after another and they fight so good. Like,
I was gonna say, this is a really fun fight actually.
yeah, especially on a fly rod. It's a little different when guys are gear fishing and stuff, but yeah, the fly rod presents a whole different opportunity for sure.
Someone's tried to have you for lunch.
That's a better fish.
That is a nice fish actually, wow.
Switch hands so we can see that scar there. Check that out. Big battle wound. Who knows, that could be from spawning or something, or
True.
just got attacked by a pike or a muskie. Yeah, it's pretty neat in the aspect that we have those 6 different lakes and you're able to access all of them by just short portages, about 400 meters on each one. And just simply transporting in the main boat from either Yoke or Straw and driving to the portage site, walking across. Then we have other boats at those portage locations. Crossroad and Sullivan are accessible from Yoke. And you know, we've got 14-foot boats with 9.9 4-stroke Yamahas out there. They're all fully gassed up, everything ready to go. You just have to walk across and jump in the boat and go fishing for the day. So it's pretty unique that we have access to so many different lakes within the single trip anyways, and all different species of fish.
Almost like you know what you're doing. That was awesome. Here, buddy.
It's a nice fish. Largemouth.
Nice one. Very nice.
Nice fish.
It's a beautiful one. Nice. Man, this is fun. That's actually a very nice fish. Oh, that is a fish. I thought I went a little too far and got stuck in the sticks. What a nice fight.
Another nice fish. Ready. Okay, let's let it go.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Thank you, Daryl.
After a great first day on the water, Daryl and I headed back to the lodge for a hot meal and a good night's rest. For my second day of fishing at Slippery Winds, guide Tristan was taking me out onto some of the easily accessible back lakes, known as Straw Lake and Soucan Lake.
The main difference that we're here, because today we're here fishing on Straw versus I believe yesterday you guys were out on Yoke. So the two main differences between here and Yoke is going to be the oxygen content. On Yoke especially, Yoke is a very high oxygen rich content lake, which is one of the main reasons you have such a healthy muskie population in that lake. One of the main reasons we don't have muskie in this lake is there's not enough of an oxygen content. And then on top of that, we have the water level dropping because we have the beaver dams that are obstructing Straw right now. So we're losing the water level, then we're having a little bit of an oxygen issue. So main difference that you'll see here is just the oxygen content. And then what that does is it changes the color of the lake. I don't want to say muddy, but it's almost like a tea-stained water where you have a much clearer, I would say 10 to 12 foot like visual depth out on Yoke. Here you might be lucky if you see 3 feet. So the big difference with the fish species here versus what we have on Yoke is with Yoke, with fish having a lot clearer bodies of water, they're running on a lot more kind of standard colors, right? They're going to be a more natural color presentation there, whereas when you're fishing something that's going to be a tea-stained body of water or a little bit darker colored water, you have to rely on less natural colors, a lot more bright, vibrant colors, things that are a little more flashy, just due to the fact that that sun's not penetrating the water nearly as much as it would on a clearer lake like Yoke as it is here. So with that, we have to change our tactics and we have to go to brighter colors, a little less natural, but still kind of giving the same idea. Like this lake has perch as bait fish. It also has ciscos. So with that being said, you'll use kind of like a fire tiger perch pattern, still natural, but slightly over the top, a little bit brighter. Same with a cisco, you just go with a shinier blue, a little bit brighter, just to kind of offset the darkness. Then when we go to Yoke, you go to the opposite. We're gonna go with a little more natural muted colors because the clarity of that water allows us to run a little bit easier and different colors.
That breeze sure is nice.
Better than yesterday. Yesterday was brutal.
Oh,
couple points during the day. Like I had a couple of the older boys with me, and we just kind of tucked the boat on shore and walked into the trees for an hour just to stay out of the sun. Oh, there we go. There we go.
Yeah, got it. Nice. So it seems that what's working, I think especially given the heat, the fish are a little bit deeper down, is really letting the fly sink. I've got a floating line on right now, but with a fly that has a little bit of weight, beaded head, and then really pausing it, which is definitely not my strong suit.
There we go. Good smallie.
Oh, nice.
Nice smallie.
It seems to be that the key right now to targeting large and smallmouth bass is patience, something that is definitely not my strong suit. Using a floating line and a fly that has a little bit of weight, I'm using a streamer right now, seems to be what it takes to get the fly a little bit deeper where the fish are sitting and then waiting on that drop. Every single fish I've caught to this point has been on that drop. So not getting ahead of myself and letting the fly sink a little bit has been key.
As the day continued, the temperature began to climb, and it got hot. As the bite began to slow down, Tristan suggested we head through the channel to a different back lake and see if we could locate any active bass.
Fish. Nice. Here we go. Now they're sticking a little bit deep today. Oh my gosh, what a good fight. We just got to this location and just started working a bit of deadwood, and right past the drop off was this beauty. And what a fight. Come here, buddy. See if we can get him up for you, Tristan.
Oh, there he is. There we go.
Awesome, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Smalley?
Yep. The beauty brown's back. Super healthy little football.
Thank you.
Not a problem. They're so pretty out here.
They're very light in color.
They are.
Fish. That was a very subtle take. I didn't barely feel that one. Let's see if we can get a look. Whoa. That's the fun part about fishing multi-species lakes, is you never really know what you're gonna come out with. You can target and you can increase your odds, but is it gonna be a smallie? Is it gonna be a largemouth? It could be a pike. Who's to say? Especially when you can't get a look. Come here, buddy. Oh man, come on. Oh, that's a big bass.
I didn't want to say anything. I got a good look at it. I was like, I'll just let her take a peek at it.
Okay.
No.
Oh no! Did you get it? Oh. That was a very nice fish. And as happens sometimes when you're fighting a fish, especially when you're using barbless hooks, my fly is still here, but unfortunately in the ruckus of the fight, the fly has popped out. That was a beautiful bass, but it's okay. It's okay. I am convinced that we will find another one sizable or even bigger than that size, but that was an awesome fight.
So I know with smallies, they're, especially right now with the temps, they're a lot more, I don't want to say finicky, but they are a little more susceptible to say temperature changes than largemouth are. So they're more likely to be grouped up and huddled around kind of rocks and rock piles in deeper structure. The largemouth I've seen in like the middle of August, in the middle of July in 3 feet of water, and I've seen them hunkered down in 12 feet. It's dependent on what that bass or that fish is feeling at that time. Like if they're hungry and they're feeding, they might push into a little more shallow, a little more active area where they have cover, or what they might do as well, just to stay out of the heat, they'll stay in shallow, but they'll hug trees. So all this kind of like deadfall that we have off the shoreline here, where it's in 3-4 feet of water and sunken, a lot of the times what they'll do is they'll just go find where all the brush is and just wiggle themselves into that brush so they can stay cool, but then ambush anything that works its way past that brush pile.
Same kind of like feed here, like small
Cisco?
Cisco?
No, so through here there's gonna be small perch, like kind of pumpkin seeds. You'll have like kind of your stereotypical like bait fish like chubs, sticklebacks.
Fish. Now what could it be this time? Ooh. Tiny.
No way, it's perch.
That is a beautiful perch.
That's awesome. That's super cool.
Speaking of bayfish,
Yep.
you never know what you'll pull out.
So a good perch would usually be like an eater perch, guys like in that 12 to 14 range. For kind of fun and entertainment, this is a decent size for sure. They definitely get, or can get, a lot bigger than this little guy here, but everybody talks about walleye and how good walleye are to eat. These little guys blow walleye out of the water.
With cooler temperatures predicted for the following day, we headed back to the lodge, hopeful, hungry, and excited for what was to come. Day 3 of my fishing adventure at Slippery Winds Wilderness Lodge was, admittedly, the one I was most excited for. For the remainder of my trip, I had the opportunity to be guided by head guide Emily Head. I'm always thrilled to work and fish with other women in this industry, and Emily's passion and knowledge of angling was incredible.
I come from definitely an unconventional fishing background. I'm first generation for both sides of my family that like to hunt and fish. I've always enjoyed the outdoors. My parents had a property maintenance business, so we've always spent a lot of time outside, grew up on a farm, et cetera, but I always just had this bug, you know, and I'll never forget being really young and we were out camping, seeing this guy cast in the river. I said, "What are you doing?" He goes, "Oh, I'm fishing." I thought, you can touch him, you can see him, you know, and it just added a bit of a pizzazz that flipping rocks didn't do at the time. So, you know, and then just as anything, competitive as anything, and just you challenge yourself and things just continue, and here we are. I've been here at Slippery Winds. This is my 6th season, and what I love about this place, there's a lot of things, but the guests are absolutely incredible. They come as strangers and leave not just as friends, but borderline family. You know, we stay in touch, and you know, I just absolutely love the connection that you get with the people that come into the lodge.
It's another beautiful day here at Slippery Winds Wilderness Lodge, and today I'm super excited because I get to go out with head guide Emily, and it's not very often I get to fish with another female angler, one who knows how to fly fish, or a female guide in general. So I know it's going to be a great day. Emily, can you tell me a little bit about what lake we're going to today? Because I know we're going to a portage lake.
Yeah, so we're gonna go over to a lake called Cross Trout. I was in there yesterday with the guests on the fly. We were just crushing them on Topwater. So I'm really excited to take you over there and see what we can do.
Awesome, I can't wait. Let's head out.
Perfect. All right, so we've arrived at Cross Trout. We actually have a major going on right now, so we're gonna start with some Topwater. I like to always start with that, and then we'll make some changes as we see what these fish are doing. And we're gonna be fishing for some pretty big largemouth, so we'll see how the day goes.
Awesome, let's get to it. Fish.
Yay.
Okay, so, oh my gosh. I just tied on a streamer.
It's gonna.
Oh, nice.
Really well fed, really
Thank
healthy.
you.
How beautiful she is.
We realized that I just wasn't getting deep enough, even with a weighted fly, when I was using the floating line. So I came prepared, we switched it up, I've put an intermediate line on, and we're really going to work on getting the fly low in the water column. That seems to be the meal ticket today, with lots of long pauses, and the pause is really when we've been getting the hit. So we're gonna try this new setup and see what we can find. Fishy, fishy. Very nice. Right off that deadfall. Okay. Man, these fish fight so well. And that was, gosh, first cast after switching up. So this, I think, was a good suggestion, Emily.
Thank you.
Thank
Beautiful
you.
cast. That was just, you put it right in between those two branches, let it sink like you said, got right in front of his face, and he just picked it up right away. So we had a bit of a front roll in, now it's starting to stabilize a bit, so I think we're gonna see a bit of hot and heavy action. We just switched to low and slow, time to put Topwater back on. Just kidding.
Oh, it's a beauty. Try to get him. Pops right out and absolutely beautiful. Let's get this guy back in the water.
So as you can see, this is a perfect example of what I was mentioning earlier with just following those weeds as they're growing out. You can see not even 5 feet, 10 feet behind us, you can see the weeds starting to emerge. And here, they're all just getting deeper and deeper, and that's right where the fish are holding, right along this deep edge of where these new weeds are coming out. So what I'll do is follow this new growth all the way out into 20, 25 feet. So there's one, following you. But, oh, he just
Got it.
There you go. Good.
Nice.
Nice, great job.
I'm surprised they're not very afraid. Oh, they're not very afraid of the boat. They'll come right up to it.
No, luckily here, these fish only get, fish maybe 3 months a year, if that. So they're not very boat shy. I've had it where the prop's actually ticking on the log and the guests are still vertical, jigging wacky worms, catching them. So, getting a snag out for the other guests. So it's pretty amazing how these fish are not shy. After what these fish will do, 10, 15 minutes in, is they'll start using our boat as structure. So it's pretty amazing as I'm standing up here watching as you're fishing, you see the fish coming in and out of the boat, just using it as some open water structure. So it's pretty, oh, there we go.
Oh, nice.
Pretty cool to be able to see them hit right beside the boat. Another beautiful fish. So right now, what we're doing is this time of year, you're starting to see a lot of weed beds pop up, different types of weed beds too. And right now what we're doing is we're fishing the most recent beds. So this actually just popped up within the last half week or so. You can see they're nice and luscious and green. This type of weed is a narrow leaf pondweed, and the bass will sit down and there's a milfoil on the bottom and this narrow leaf will come up and give them additional cover. So just pulling them out from underneath that, really. There you go.
Nice. Oh. So something that's really awesome about fishing this lake is that it's very clear. So when the fish are coming up a little bit, your fly's right beside the boat. I just watched that take, and that's very unique. That's definitely not something with bass that you can say about every location. So I'm pretty happy right now. It's fish after fish. You get to see some of these eats, even though they're subsurface, and the fight is just fantastic. Oh.
See the other one chasing it?
Yeah.
This time of year, sometimes you'll have an entourage of 5, 6 bass following behind you. They just want what he's got.
I know. Amazing. Man, this is such doing some farming. Holy, that looks like a nice fish. That, in fact, looks like a very nice fish. And I could be wrong.
Right off the edge of the reef there, huh?
Right off the edge, and he hit that, and I missed
a nice fish.
Oh, I really hope I've set this hook well enough. I'm actually gonna try and get him on the reel here, because this is a beautiful fish. Oh, that's a pig.
Get the tape ready for this one.
I'm gonna let you bring this one in, Emily. When I get him up to you, he's not quite ready yet. Okay.
Look at that fish. Beautiful.
Got it? Oh, wow.
Beautiful. Right in the corner of the mouth, just perfect. Oh, sticky one. This fish was not going anywhere. Beautiful. Nice.
That is beautiful.
As the weather began to shift, Emily and I decided to hit one last spot before heading in and try to see if we could get a topwater bite.
There you go, there you go, there you go.
Really just wants to be under the boat, this guy.
There you go.
Oh! I have no idea how I set the hook on that. Ooh. That was so fun.
There you go, nice. I knew it.
I didn't even get to pop it.
Thank you, Rat Log. I love you so much.
On this trip, I came prepared with a variety of equipment to meet the needs of a multi-species fishery. In terms of rods, I came prepared with a 10-weight 9-foot rod and 2 6-weight 9-foot rods. For line, I brought an intermediate line and floating line for both the 10-weight and 6-weight rods. I also came prepared with a variety of different flies that could catch anything from musky and northern pike to largemouth or smallmouth bass. This includes a multitude of streamers, topwater poppers, and woolly buggers in a variety of colors. For my final day at Slippery Winds, Emily suggested we stay on Yoke Lake and try to target musky and northern pike, with the option to switch to bass if the opportunity presented itself. One of the perks of having access to such a multi-species fishery is the ability to change your plans depending on the weather, the area of the lake, or how active certain species are throughout the day.
We're here on Yoke, and what we're gonna do is fish some open water weed beds. We're fishing anywhere from 7 to 15 feet, so we'll use that sinking line to get down there. And we're gonna be looking for some pike and some muskie and the occasional walleye. All right, so as you can see here, we're fishing this reef. You can see part of the island up here, and then the other part of the sunken reef is down. So when I'm fishing on the fly, what I like to do is if I'm fishing varying depth structure like this, just switch up your cadence nice and quick when you first are hitting the structure, and then slow down your cadence as you're working over that deeper transition to let it drop. And you can change, just by simply changing your cadence, you can get that fly where you want it to be. You can work it in 3 feet or you can work it in 16. So just kind of a matter of how fast you want to work it. That is perfect.
Oh, fish. Awesome, awesome, awesome. That was a hard hit. We're working this weed bed here. It's all coming up, and it's about 8 feet of water coming off of a rocky shoal. And it's been a little slow so far this morning, but that was a heavy hit. And there's so many different species here. I don't know what we've got. It might be a pike. And it is a pike. Hello. Bring him over to little guy. He inhaled that fly.
I don't stick my fingers in the pike's mouth too often unless they're huge.
It's about noon, and it's been a little bit slow this morning, so Emily and I decided to get things ready for shore lunch. Now, we're gonna target walleye, and they're a little bit deep this time of year. So I'm gonna toss a leech pattern onto my fly rod, use my intermediate line, and see if I can get any on the fly. But thankfully, Emily came prepared and brought an extra conventional rod. We're both gonna toss a line in and get our shore lunch.
Despite my best efforts with the fly, I couldn't seem to hook into any walleye. So Emily lent me an extra conventional rod. As someone who rarely picks up a conventional rod, I was so thankful to have Emily there to give me some tips.
You're gonna wanna have your rod tip kind of just neutral, you know? Okay. Straight or down in this circumstance. You never wanna go higher than the horizon, I say.
Okay.
So then, so what you're gonna do is reel in the slack with the rod tip facing down at like basically the top of the water. So you reel in a little more. Can you feel that jig kind of lifting up the bottom a bit?
No.
Okay, so we lift our rod tip up and see how it's under tension. Put the rod tip back down. Okay, perfect. So basically now, when you pick up this slack, with your rod tip at the top of the water, the distance you're lifting this rod tip up is the distance your jig will be. Yeah, okay. So it kind of gives it a bit of a better visual. And what we're gonna do is we call it dead sticking. So essentially what we're gonna do is we're gonna literally not move them at all. It's super, super simple. We're just gonna throw them right down, have them about, you know, that 12, 18 inches off bottom, and simply just keep it nice and still. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna have it when you're gonna feel a few tap, 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 taps, then commit. So just kind of keep it in front of their faces. And what I do is I use my electronics to locate the fish. I get us right on top of them. We jig them, we either catch them or not, and then we move on, you know. Traditional walleye jigging guys will anchor up on a spot where they know they're coming. But I, you know, rather than the fish coming to me, I like to go to them, so.
It didn't take long before we found success and headed off to prepare our shore lunch.
Going? Atta girl. Good job. Here you go. Perfect.
Woohoo! Awesome.
Good job. Perfect shore luncher, too. You're a natural.
Boom.
You are a natural.
Thank you. Awesome. That was awesome.
Great job.
Thank you very much.
Perfect shore lunch size fish.
After lunch, I had the chance to chat with Emily to learn a bit more about what Slippery Winds Wilderness Lodge has to offer.
My role here at Slippery Winds is I am head guide, so I am out on the water every day pretty well of the season. So a typical day would be, you know, leaving the dock at 8. We'll fish for whatever the clients want to do, bag lunch or shore lunch, and then back at 5. And that's a typical day. Then I get back and help Daryl with operations around the camp. As for meals and accommodations, what we have available is we have 5 cabins out on their own that sleep anywhere from 2 to 8 guests. And meal plan, we offer the American plan here, so all of your meals are included, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You wake up to a really nice big hot breakfast at 7 a.m. Lunchtime is your choice of shore lunch or bagged lunch. And then dinner is always something wonderful as well in the evenings.
We headed back out on the water to try and locate a few more active fish before the end of the day.
I'll get you up a little closer. You can thread one between the white pine and the log.
From here.
You got it from there?
Yeah, I can get it from here. Fish. Nice. Very subtle take, but heavy.
No, we gotta pretend we're excited for these because it's what we're going for.
This is awesome.
We're going for pike.
And look at that, right up through the lip.
Look at this. Beautiful little boy. Oh, hold on, let me get a better grip on him. Jeez, he's got something in his stomach.
Whoa.
Oh,
He's gone.
that's right.
Oh, fish. That was instantaneous. Trying to get a little knot out of my line. Oh, that's a bass. Nice. And he must have took it right on the drop. Ooh, that's a beautiful one. Nice. And I'll bring her right over for you. Oh, beefy boy. Let's get her up. That's so fun. You can be targeting one species and pull out something completely different. And in we go. Awesome. Thanks, Emily.
You're welcome. Check it out. Beautiful.
The float plane is on its way, and unfortunately, that means this fishing adventure in Sunset Country has come to an end. I'd like to thank Emily, Daryl, and the rest of the staff at Slippery Winds Wilderness Lodge for a fantastic trip. If you'd like to learn more about Slippery Winds Wilderness Lodge or our show, visit us on the web at www.thenewflyfisher.com. From all of us here at The New Fly Fisher, thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.
The New Fly Fisher is brought to you in partnership with Destination Ontario, Scientific Anglers, Trout Unlimited, WeatherTech Canada,